further step. Heading towards Reading. Another green signal, 6.8 miles to go, and the track has disappeared. Hey guys, and welcome back to Dovetail Games Train Sim World. So, video 3 of 4 on the pre-release saga, as the Train Simulator officially released at 6 PM today, so stay tuned for that. I believe it's 6 PM, but for now, I'm here showing you what the simulator has, what we got, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So, in this video, we're going through the Class 66, the DB diesel train, and the freight train you get with this simulator. So we'll go for the early morning. There's one route I want to do here. Acton Yard to Wembley Euro Terminal. 20 to 6 in the morning. This one should be a fairly easy drive up the Great Western main line. So let's simulator load, and there you go. Everything coming together now. So train should be already turned on. Yes, it is. All these turned on as well. Switch set to, there you go, I say switch run, reverser forward, not just yet, make sure the lights up here is also set as well to daytime drive. There we go. So yeah, looks like we should be fine to go. Good. So ease on the throttle of this one, as this train will get affected by the engine. If I do put too much power into it, it will blow the engine, so be careful of that. Otherwise you're going to Acton Yard, no destination time, none of that, as we are essentially not a non-priority train, so any passenger services do get priority in this track. Sure, we may get a few red signals depending on the service, otherwise you should be alright. Likewise, brakes are a bit different, as the first train, the Class 166, it's all done one handle. The Class 43 high-speed train, the brakes are on a separate lever, but you apply the amount of pressure and so forth. This one, you apply pressure to the brakes, which will gradually slow you down, so I'll talk about that more in the actual journey itself. But otherwise, here's the Class 66 freighter train. Not a bad one either. And in my opinion, I do quite like this one a bit more than the Great Western Mainline, although, not Great Western Mainline, the CSX Heavy Haul, although, I'm not sure. In terms of freighter, I actually quite like the CSX Heavy Haul ones as well. They're not the worst trains in the world, but I do like the Class 66. And then here's the rear of our train. So yeah, we are carrying, what's the word? Aggregates, that's it. So we are carrying aggregates, well, to Wembley Euro Terminal, technically, but because we are stuck to Reading to Paddington, we're going to the Acton Yard, where mythical second driver will take over the route for the rest of the journey. Either way, bring up to full speed and then follow the route down. But yeah, compared to what we had in the past with Train Sim World's CSX Heavy Haul, this is just your standard freight train. These actually, does that, oh yeah, we do have got some functionality up here. Oh yes, this is like your speed select, all that kind of stuff. For your managed speed, you got your train proximity warning system, maximum speed 75 miles per hour. And yeah, it's all your basic setup up here. And I believe if we go to the back, go to free cam mode, these all have numbers. Yes, they do, and they're going to have different numbers. Pretty fine. So this is 300404 631 403. So yeah, like CSX Heavy Haul, each car has its own number, and all that is automatically done within the simulator itself. So that's one thing I do like about it. It's not like the same texture on every single car, which fair enough, for many people really look at that tiny little detail, but for those that like that extra touch of realism, it has it. And that's what I do like about this simulator. It's a lot more than your standard train sim world. It's got a lot more extras that you wouldn't normally find in train simulator that this one has. Anyways, here's our Class 66. So I've got this video And then later on, just before release, I'll do a passenger mode video as well. So I'll start off for Maidenhead, and then I'll do a passenger service from Maidenhead to... I'll head towards Paddington. See if we try and get on both trains, the high speed and the commuter train. But until then, let's enjoy what we've got so far. Alright, so next signal is green, 800 even yards away. And just another 29 miles till Acton Yard. There you go, green signal, through we go. And it should be like that for a while, so yeah, no passenger services this one. Just early morning, have a look at the scenery here. And what we got, likewise, during the passenger service, I might set up the weather as well, have different weather. So the initial routes I've just done like a sunny, normal clear day. Okay, not what you get in England at all. Just like an initial taster of each train, but with passenger mode, I think I can abuse the system a little bit more and just enjoy what we got. Likewise, I have got different clothes on as well in high-vis jackets to represent what you're wearing in real life. So it's the same character models, but different outfits depending if you're in Alaska for the heavy haul. If you're a commuter train driver, you have a black outfit on, black, not suit, but smart outfit. And then here you've got a high-vis jacket for your cargo train. Right, so let's see what the connections here are like as well between each car. So you do have a little bit of cable linkage here, shaking between each car as well. Just the tiny little details again I do really like with the simulator. The ghosting on the wheels, fair enough, still here. But not too bad with this one actually, I will say. It's not the worst one in the world. I think the 166 probably. So between the 166 and the 43 as the worst ghosting, probably because of the speed, but this one's not too bad. And then yeah, just the actual detail on the track as well, really nicely done. Yeah, you've got like shape of the rail, you've got the nice effects on the sleeves, I'd say, each time. As opposed to each sleeve being defined, it's just like now fade effect. Kind of makes it look more realistic as opposed to when we had in the past. Like if there was no ghosting effects, then it would just look like a checkerboard where you got sleeper gap, sleeper gap, sleeper gap without ever moving, without ever changing. The effects they put on this does look really nice. Mix of ghosting and motion blur. It does look quite good. Anyway, now long gone through Reading, we're now heading to Twyford. We'll go through Twyford into Maidenhead, and then yeah, we're not going as far as Paddington this time. We stop just before we get there. We get to the map. Nope, not that, I'll do the map. Service we're looking at. So there's another train on the other side. So head out to the map and go to free cam platform. There it is. Class 43 high-speed train heading to Reading. Next stop. As it speeds through Twyford. Anyway, back to our train and back to looking at the route ahead of us. So we're expecting any signals. Normally trains use this far left rail, so I'm not expecting too much ahead of us. Another green one, another green. It's going to be clear the entire route since there's a yellow one here. Although how far is that for us? Maybe under 2-3 minutes away from us before we get anywhere near another service. Yeah, it's red just before you reach Maidenhead. Back out, and let's focus on the journey. Speed limit's at 90. This thing's not going to go anywhere near 90. 76 right now. The top speed is 75. And the fact that we're going downhill on a 0.1% gradient, very well again to 76. So if you look at the UI on the bottom right, you've got the gradient, you've got practice on driver mode right now. No warnings of that, that's been turned off. Not sure where the fuse box is in this train. Probably just going to be up here, isn't it? Yep. The fuse boxes up here, which I could turn them on if I wanted to. There's your AWS and your DSDs down below. So essentially, like I said, it's essentially the same backbone as the Great Western, not Great Western, the same backbone as the CSX heavy haul trains. You've got your control panels to the right, same system there, same system to the left. Startup's a little bit different as it all can be done from within the cab. So it's set out, turn on the master key, set out to neutral, these three on. Engine startup is the green button here. Then you turn on the isolation to run. And then train can go into drive, throttle up as well, make sure this is set to daytime lights and you're free to go. So that's the startup process for this train. Otherwise it should be again nice and clear run to Acton, 23 miles still to go. Enjoy the nice morning scenery got in there. So the lighting, I will say, the lighting is also another thing that some people have talked about in the past. The sky may be a little bit too bright. It's like the sky itself may be a little bit on the bright side, but the actual scenery itself, like how it hits on the train, how it hits the scenery, like just look at that scene. I mean, that's a nice scene. In fact, that's probably a good thumbnail. That. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a really nice scene. That. In fact, let me just adjust the camera a little bit so I can get a better view on. Get a bit of an angle on it. As initial setup, this is really nicely done. Nice level lighting, nice level vegetation in this part. Realistic setup to the real journey in real life. It's well done. Like I said, release is at 5 PM today. 6 PM, sorry, 6 PM today. Make sure it's in your wish list for release. Now we want to go back to neutral. Slow train down a bit to 75 again. So if I hold it, you can see the brake, no, when that's released, yeah, hold it, you see the brake will go up. If I release it, it stops. So brake pressure is managed manually on this train. And the more pressure you put in, the higher rate of this train will slow down. So that I'm going to mess around with as I drive, but not too bad. I think the Class 43 HST is still probably the hardest train in my opinion to slow down. This one's not too bad. We're going up to 75, top speed this track. And top speed this train as well. There you go, throttle system 3. Soon be in Maidenhead. There you go, train starting to against amps. Starting to increase its power. We should start seeing the speed increase in this train. So it's like a 70 acceleration. This thing, once you're at very high speed, you're not going to speed up much at all either. But braking is a bit better than the HST. And bear in mind you're at a lower speed as well. It's a bit easier to manage. Bear in mind the only thing is you just have to manage your own brakes really. It's a bit of a fun one to learn. You release the brakes completely. You should be alright. So you have to hold the brakes to release them. You have to hold the release valve, otherwise you're not going to release all the pressure, and therefore the brakes will stay on. So just bring it down again. Let's increase back to 5, maybe 6. Coming up to Maidenhead now. Next signal is yellow in 0.7 miles. So if we follow that and then start to turn the train down a bit. First brake setting, go up to 4.5. Slow train down a tiny bit in case the next signal is red, because again, actual services have priority. We need to let them pass because they're set to a schedule. I just need to get to my destination whenever. Welcome to Maidenhead. Next signal is green, so yep, we're fine. The train out on our track has changed rails. Whoops, no, it's here. F1 goes to the UI, as you expect. Ooh, it was a bit of a high speed. Ooh, yeah, okay, yeah, speed did go down. I was going to say, it was quite high speed for this points, it is, isn't it? Anyways, if we carry on at the speed, we should be alright. Green signal. So if I release brakes again, go back to full speed. There we go, brakes up to 5, that means all the air's been released. Speed limit's 125. And green signal's 200 yards away, so we should be fine now. Now if we go back to the map, I've got another view of the train. Where's the River Thames? I wanted to look at that in the first episode but forgot about it. So this is the River Thames up in Maidenhead. Got a bit of history to it as well. Everything from the fact that Maidenhead exists today, the first part settlement, to a church in Maidenhead as well. And then, so all these, the original civilization Maidenhead starts up over here somewhere on the riverside, and it expanded more that way. The fairly historic city it is today. But yeah, I wonder if that guy's even got a garden shed in real life. That guy has a trampoline. If that's the detail, got a goalpost. No, it's a swing set, sorry. Imagine if these guys have these in real life, that'd become quite a high quality thing here. Got Spring Master's trampoline here. And he's got a few extensions here, a few old houses, and a guy's car and transit van. There we go, back into train. Let's carry on. 17 miles to go. Green signals, looking good. Yeah, it's a fairly good route this. I do like the class 66, quite a nice little train to drive. Bit different to the standard trains, but nah, these aren't too bad. So yeah, this is included with the Great Western Express DLC, releasing 6 o'clock. Along with all the other videos I've put together with this add-on, with this DLC. Like I say, I'm definitely excited to have this early. I mean, fair enough, it's only 24 hours early. Although I did get permission from Dovetail Games to release videos just beforehand. I mean, that says something about my channel. Is it really that good? Is it that terrible? You never know. Either way, so I'll slow the train down a bit, as we have got a caution signal coming up. Which means there may be another train ahead of us, potentially. Is that no service there? Oh, that's a station, okay. But 5:30 in the morning, there aren't too many trains on the line. You can see the brakes in this thing aren't the strongest in the world either. If I go to full braking, bring down to 3. Make sure we're released. Yes, we have. On 0. This is the kind of speed we're expecting this train to slow down at, so not much. We're worse braking in this as part of this DLC. But then again, we are carrying massive 4 loads of aggregates. And therefore, braking in this kind of train actually is about this rate in real life. Why do you need to be quite careful with this, especially on a busy commuter rail. So yeah, good thing I braked up early. 100 yards to go. Is next signal red? Fingers crossed it's not, but you never know. Right, red signal, 1 mile away. I'll carry on the full braking, so we do need to bring the train to a halt. And allow any trains on the track to pass through us first before we are allowed to carry on again. It's now yellow, so if I release the brakes, so you have direct brakes and automatic brakes. If I release that fully, a little bit of power to the train, and just proceed with a bit of caution, make sure there's nothing out of the way for us. So we are going to slowly pick up speed, but nothing too fast. Which should give us plenty of time to hit on the brakes if we need to. There you go, there's a service right there. Plus 166. If I can open the window and actually peek my head out. Poke my head out, peek my head out. Poke. And there we go. Increase the throttle just a tiny bit because the train in front of us may have changed track. Likewise, we may change tracks ourselves depending on the setup. So there we are with our track. Let's see how we do change actually in the next bit. Let's see how we go back to the left. So yellow signal there, when that's currently staying still now. We then change track to the left side. Red signal there, need to be careful about. The next one is green after that, so I'll keep an eye on that as well. Increase the brakes, both brakes. Actually, if it's 40 miles per hour then we're fine. Whoops, not pause, release both brakes, there we go. Throttle 2. And get ready to change lanes. So yeah, green signals, 0.7 miles away. Is that the one that was red earlier? I'll have to double check. Yeah, I'll proceed with caution again just in case. Here we go, we're now at the first set of points, and this one here is hours. So 40 miles per hour, we're at 30, that's fine. Perfect. Here we go, come up to the second set of points right now. That brings us on to the next rail. If I have to do that, you can actually see ahead of us. There we go, next set of rail here. Keep it. Okay, increase it to throttle 3. Bring it back up to 40. And carry on to Acton. Just got a jump cut there, that's fine though. There you go, green signal, so we should be clear to go now. Full speed, we have changed all lanes. Brakes have been released. And carry on full speed through, in this case, Slough right now. Now frame rate, hang on, what is my frame rate here? 6. Not the nicest, I will say. If you look up, it gets a little bit nicer. There's not too much detail up above the sky. But yeah, not the nicest bit there. Limit goes back to 75. 14 miles to go, yes, so we're going back to our main full speed. So back up to throttle 8. And essentially now sit back for the rest of the journey. Few works actually going on here, down by Slough. Next up we go through is Langley, then we're back in London, and then from there it shouldn't be too far away from Acton, where again some other driver who we'll never meet and never see will take this train up to Wembley to drop off the aggregate. Well, looking at the schedules, where I got like routes up to Swansea apparently as well. That'd be quite nice to see one in the full release of the DLC. As I said in the first video, from Paddington to Reading, it's the first release, it's initial release. We may get more of the route in the future, as Dovetail Games have talked in the past about possible expansions. But other than that, yeah, like I said, I'm quite happy with this release so far. Three trains you got in this are really good. Very unique trains as well, especially for this train sim world, compared to the 3 trains we had in the past, where 2 of them were essentially exactly the same with different power outputs. Only one of them was different. This we have 3 very different trains and a very, very different route. Bear in mind the first one was just in the middle of nowhere. This is actually populated, lots of people in it. And yeah, I do like this as a British route. Alright, 12 miles to go. Should that be down to 11 in the moment. Oops, nope, won't do that. Scout ahead. Red, is that red for, ooh, potentially. Nope. The train there. Of course, we've got the minor glitching. If that's a red signal for us, I do want to keep an eye out for that. According to that, it was red. According to that, it's green, so fingers crossed it's not going to notice that and carry us through. Please. This is Langley. Green signal, we're fine. And there we go, now leaving Langley. Whoops, nope. Keep getting the wrong keys. Right, so back into map mode. Whoops. Back into map mode. Right, these are all red then, so they may be red for the rest of the journey, so keep an eye on the actual in-game UI when it actually matters. I'm guessing it's because in reality this track is mainly used for services heading to Reading, as opposed to going towards Paddington, so signals set for the opposite direction, which is what I'm assuming. Bear in mind, every time I've gone out to Maidenhead, I've been on this rail, or the one next to me. So we're just about to reach full speed, 69 miles per hour, coming up to 70. That's Langley. We should soon expect the M25 as well to head over us. And then Hazenheim can stop just to be right past that as well. Go through Ivor. Sanding, lead sand for the track, just get extra grip, especially on like rainy days. And then of course, ooh, not so functional horn. Right, high horn on this train does not work. Low horn does, not high horn. There we go. Got there in the end. Yeah, get to the end of this route, and like I said, we'll do one more video of a passenger run before the game comes into full release. Right, it's now 8.9 miles away from us, the Acton depot, Acton Yard. 8.8 miles away, so yeah. Starting to go on the final analysis route. Now passing West Drayton. Here's the end of the platform for this. There you go, freight train shooting through the station at full speed. Always the most fun thing to do when you're actually standing in the platform with lots of high-speed winds going past you. HST car stop, and then the 166 car stop's a bit further back. Because again, it's not exactly the longest train in the world, especially a 3-car service. 6 car, a bit longer. There you go, 2 to 3 car stop. Well, they're not as accurate as like London Underground ones, where you have the actual board on the left and right hand side of the platforms. And you have to get it exactly in the green area, otherwise your doors will not open at the station as a safety precaution. Alright, so green. Next signal is green as well, so don't need to go on the brakes just yet. 74 miles per hour, comes to top speed of the train now, 75. We are on a uphill gradient, so probably won't actually reach the full speed of this thing. Goes to the 308 amps. Train's still applying power. Right, it's past the M25, there's the Heathrow Express connection. 7 miles to go. Service that. Heading towards Reading. Another green signal, 6.8 miles to go, and the track has disappeared. The track has just disappeared. What's going on here? Looks like the world's not loading up properly. Could be a small glitch in the Unreal Engine. I'll have to report that to Dovetail Games later, because he has no rails and sleepers are just about spawning in. Hayes and Harlington, here we are. Yeah, small graphical glitch, not a good one at that either. And if we stay here a bit and let the train go out of range, when I teleport back, it will try and load up the entire scenery at once. If we can use that to try and reset essentially the entire thing. Because yeah, not the greatest glitch in the world. Quite an annoying one at that. I've never actually seen that glitch happen before. The track's just completely disappearing from view. It's definitely a new one for me. I think a new one for Train Sim World as well, because I've not seen that in CSX Heavy Haul. I've got about 10 hours in that, so yeah, not the most in the world, but enough to notice any like major graphical glitches like that. There we go, looking good. There we go, it has reset the entire scenery. So yeah, small trick I have found. Let train go out of view, let train go out of range, and then once you goes far enough, it will come back in. So if I load the blinds, because it's a bit of sun here. It's not really affects the sun that much, or just a bit overhead then, but you can move the blinds up and down. All of them functional. And you have the like intermediate as well, so about 43%, 56%, and in the middle as well. Right, 4.3 miles to go, 100 yards through next station, 85 mile per hour speed limits. Right, lower train back down to throttle neutral. And if it does start slowing down, we're going downhill though, 0.1% gradient, but if it does start slowing down, that should be fine because we're getting towards the end of the route. Again, going through the North Station at high speed, creating a little bit of lagging, but nothing too major. My hardware is down in the description if you know what I'm using. My graphical settings, if you want to know, is this one. These are my graphical settings. And if you go to my description, I put my hardware down there, so if you guys want to know what I'm using, but it's a GTX 745, 16 gigs of RAM, Core i7 processor. It's not the worst system in the world, but it could be better. Servicing the other track. And yet soon it's got to start thinking about bringing the train to a halt as you're now heading towards the very end of the service. We're now well into London, coming up towards Acton. I should actually be horning for it into all these stations, shouldn't I? Warn passengers stand back. Nope, still not going to work for me. Fair enough. Yeah, I should be warning passengers to stand back when I do come in at high speed. But again, it's not like I'm going to have someone jump in front of the train or anything. It's not going to simulate it that much. If you know what I'm going to mean, but hey, unfortunately it happens. Alright, 2.2 miles to go. Coming to the end of the route, I should start thinking about braking now, should I? So, direct brakes. So I want these two, do I? Yeah, it's fine. So, 2 miles to go. Next signal, I actually can't see if that's orange or green. I think they actually be the same points, the speed restriction and the signals. That's 80 miles per hour. And we'll soon bring the train down to a halt to arrive in Acton. So we will be going down to a siding and not to the main line Paddington. As I said at the start of the video, to a cargo train as opposed to a passenger commuter train. Carrying aggregates, not people. Right, speed down to 30. So both sets of brakes will be set. Give us as much braking power as we can in this thing, which isn't much either way. We've got 0.8 miles to go till the speed restrictions. Is that much pressure? Is that how much pressure we're going to get in the automatic brake? Should be able to get a bit more in that, but that's all fair enough. And of course, a orange signal, so we need to be careful. So 500 yards, yeah, we should have just enough braking. No, still major struggle to get this train down to low speed. Right, another rail on the left. I assume that's what we're going to go into now for another set of points. While speed is going down to very low speed set. 30, yeah, down to 30, so I can reach the brakes in a moment. Lights on the cross section, it's on, so we are changing lane now. And yep, again we're going to stop here, 0.4 miles, that's the Acton Yard siding. So yeah, the sign should just turn, the points should be coming up just right now, there we go. If I hide the UI, I can actually see it a bit better. Yellow signal here, meaning the next one will be red, which is also this one we'll be stopping at ourselves. So release all brakes. Use a bit of power, so we're not going to stop completely. Throttle 1 should do it, if need be. I've got my finger on both sets of brakes to stop the train, once we get to the end of this bit of track. Right, zero throttle, own momentum, and yet the ending point is now visible to me. So I can bring it as close as I can to that point there. And then we'll see if we need to like shut down the train or any of that, which shouldn't be too difficult to do. At 14 FPS, that's not too bad, I guess. And yeah, quite nice that we've seen that as well. I'll decide what I'll use for the thumbnail, but I guess another thing I'll do in editing. Whoops, nope, don't pause. 200 yards to go. And yeah, next signal's red, so I've got a little bit of leeway if I do overshoot that by a bit. How many yards? About 500 yards, yeah, it's not too bad. 300 yards, 200 yards, yeah, that's fine. I'm no train driver in real life, but as an initial look, initial reaction, as just a normal user, this is what you're kind of expecting for Train Sim World. Alright, start applying brakes completely. Try to stop train as quick as I can. Which again is still not very much. Oh well, we should be stopped before 300 yards anyway. 8 miles per hour. Bring it down. And eventually stop. There we go. Service completed. Acton Yard. Final score there. So yeah, let's quickly title up. There you go. Due time 6:15. That's, yeah, no due time here, it's just an arrival time 6:15. And a lights here. Please exit the vehicle. So I'm free to do whatever I want now. So I can come down to stop. And train can turn off. So now free to look around Acton Yard. And mess around if I wanted to over here on the train. So climb down ladder. Mission summary. So am I moving or is the train moving? The train's moving. I guess that's the theoretical second guy taking it over. But there you go. Mission completed. That's the class 66. So continue. There it goes to Wembley. Was it Wembley Euro Park, wasn't it? Anyways, I think now's the time to see the episode. Train Sim World Great Western Express comes out at 6 PM. So do keep an eye out for that. I'll do one more video, which is the passenger mode in this simulator. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and goodbye.